Well, joining me now is Mike Reese from ESPN and three-time Super Bowl winning coach Matt Patricia. I'm going to start with you because you called this. You knew Philly was going to win this football game. I don't know if you called the blowout or not, but you called it.
Well, we talked about it last week, and, we kind of mentioned the things that we thought Philly would have to do to win, and I thought the defense stepped up. The third down for Kansas City was one of the best things they did, and the Philadelphia Eagles defense, man, they knocked them out of there on third down and got the ball right back to their offense. So what a game.
Patrick Mahomes was pressured all night long, Mike Reese, and it's something that he's not really used to.
Well, Steve, we've got the Super Bowl winning defensive coach here he can X and O it for us and tell us
Yes,
all the scheme stuff. I'm going to give you the math equation, all right, what I saw. The Eagles were able to disrupt Patrick Mahomes with the standard 4 rushers, sometimes only 3 rushers. What does that allow you to do? You can drop 7 and sometimes 8 in coverage. And if you can sort of cause him to move his feet, pull the ball a little bit longer, or just get to him,
right,
that's the kryptonite. And you know what? Now, I don't know if you agree, Matt, but it reminded me a little bit of when the Patriots lost Super Bowls with Tom, when the Giants could get there with 4 rushers. That's what I saw tonight, the power of defense winning championships, and that's why we got Matt here.
That's why we got Matt here, because he's the expert, but I'll tell you, that pass rush was relentless.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal job of the number one word when you play Patrick Mahomes is discipline. And you watch the speed to power rushes, Josh Sweat, what an unbelievable job he did.
Yeah.
It was against Tooney, over there on that side. He really drove him back, and the first interception there, Cooper DeJean, they were under a lot of pressure, rolled out. He tried to, Patrick Mahomes tried to throw across his body. DeJean stepped into it, great play. The next one with Vaughn, Patrick Mahomes gets hit as he's throwing. He's trying to throw across his body, and that was Sweat.
He was getting hit all night.
He did, and then you know what? Just a power rush on the edge, squeeze Mahomes in the pocket, make him step up into those big defensive tackles, and you could tell by his feet, Mike, right away, his feet were unsettled in the pocket. He couldn't really step into it, and became a lot of arm angle throws, and man, they affected him. You could tell.
Loved it because to me, Steve, I think I always bring it back to the Patriots and what do the Patriots need to do when we talk about the Super Bowl? And I think just building from the inside out. I love, strong, and I love that we got Matt here because, I mean, he's the coach. He's done this before. Steve, we haven't been in there. But you get, strong on the defensive line.
Right.
And that is the foundation of the house. And then you can build, all the furnishings and what you want to put in the house. But if you don't have that line set, it's hard to win.
Everybody talks about Patrick Mahomes and the three-peat and the GOAT and comparing him to Brady. But I want to talk about Jalen Hurts. He was the MVP of this game, and he stepped up. He stepped up throwing the ball. He stepped up running the ball. He stepped up making good decisions.
I agree, and I think I will say this. I wish they could give the MVP to a unit because I would have given it to the defensive line, but you have to pick one player, and I think we know it generally goes to the quarterback. And I think Jalen Hurts is a deserving MVP. That being said, I just thought, other than the interception where he faced some pressure, I thought he just played smart. I thought he used his legs really well to get out of trouble at times, and really that was a question I had going in. I thought the Eagles were the better overall team, but I thought at quarterback, if Mahomes had, played out of this world, that he was the edge over Hurts, and I thought Hurts outplayed him today.
Jalen Hurts actually has played in this game twice, and he's actually played really well both games. He's had high productive numbers. The first time they played, they didn't win. He had great numbers this game, too. Go back to Howie Roseman, though. The way that he builds the team, the defensive line, the offensive line. This is the largest offensive line that's played in the Super Bowl. These guys are ginormous. They've been able to run the ball.
See the arms?
They're so big.
The arms of these guys are just huge.
They're huge, and they're they play as a unit. They're great guys. But I think what you really saw out of Philly's offense in this game was everybody. Goddard had a couple big plays. Obviously AJ, Smitty, those guys all came through. Dotson came through early, and then Saquon. I love Saquon. Everyone's going to get on the running game, but what Saquon Barkley also does in the passing game, he's a complete threat. And there was some big plays, extended plays. He slipped out, even just to get the ball out on the perimeter and force the defense to have to come tackle him. It sets up that shot late in the game, which pretty much was the nail in the coffin. That was a great play.
Yeah, I thought the Kansas City defense did a pretty good job stopping the run when it came to Saquon Barkley.
I agree, and I think if you were to ask them if they held them to the numbers that they held them to, they would probably feel pretty good about it. And I think that's a credit to the Eagles. They were able to get the other players, like Matt talked about, involved. And maybe that's a credit also, too, to Saquon, that they devote all that attention recognition to him, and it allows others to step up.
Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. We will be right back with Sports Final coming to you from Bossy here in Natick.